Hello, today we're going to be checking out a humble smartphone. It's so humble, it even has a collaboration with Free Fire. But that doesn't mean it's bad. Actually, it's a good option to consider if you're on a tight budget. The phone in question is the new Infinix HOT 60i, a budget-friendly phone that falls into the entry-level category. If the doors of your house look like this is the perfect phone for you. Its price is around $130, and it comes in 4 different colors. If you want to know whether it's a good fit for you, stick around and watch this video. This super flashy box is where you get your HOT 60i. Like I said at the beginning, it's a Free Fire collaboration, so on the front you'll find a Free Fire character. Under this box there's another box, and inside that box yet another box, where you finally find the phone. Underneath the phone we find a hard plastic case. It's a plastic that scratches easily and isn't very flexible. There are also some manuals, a USB cable, a SIM tray ejector tool, and lastly, an 18-watt charger. And here we have the phone. Let's take its undies off, and at first glance it looks pretty nice. You can immediately tell it has a plastic finish, but it feels solid. It's not too thick and fits comfortably in the hand. Up front, it has its selfie camera, and here on the side, there's a front-facing LED flash, an Infinix classic. At the top, we've got the first speaker. On the right side, there are the volume buttons, the power button which also doubles as a fingerprint reader, and a green shortcut button. In the settings, you can assign 2 shortcuts, one with a double press and another with a long press. You can set it to open the voice assistant, flashlight, or any app you need, and it works really well. I'm not saying it's super useful, but for some people, it'll definitely come in handy. Alright, let's continue with the design. On the bottom, there's the second speaker, a USB-C port, and a headphone jack, something quite rare in 2025. On the left side, we only have the SIM tray, which supports 2 nano SIMs and a micro SD card all at once. Lastly, on the back, we've got a satin finish that gives it a shimmery look, and we also have the camera module. Only 2 of them are actual cameras, and one is an infrared sensor used to turn the phone into a remote control. It works perfectly. I set it up for my TV and air conditioner, but there are lots of other compatible devices. And that's it for the overall design. Now let's move on to the front, where we find the screen. A 6.7-inch IPS display with HD Plus resolution of 720 by 1600, a 120 Hz refresh rate, and 700 nits of brightness. You can set the refresh rate to 60 Hz to save battery, 120 Hz or adaptive. I found the screen to perform very well. When it comes to color, there's nothing to complain about. The colors are vibrant and beautiful. As for resolution, to be honest, I don't really see much difference between this HD screen and a full HD one. On a phone screen, resolution isn't very noticeable. If no one told me it's HD, I wouldn't notice. If you want full HD, you'll have to look for a different phone. Complementing the screen is the audio, and in this area, I really liked it. It has stereo sound with dual speakers, and they're very well balanced. The volume is loud without being overwhelming, and the quality is quite decent. It could easily be the sound of a mid-range phone. For a low-end phone, I'd give the audio a solid 10. Performance is where you can really tell this is a budget phone. It comes with a MediaTek Helio G81 processor, 8 GB of RAM, and 256 GB of storage. With these specs, it scored 278,000 points on Antutu, which, as expected, places it in the budget category. This doesn't mean it's terrible. Infinix usually does a great job optimizing the operating system to get the best performance possible. It's not a rocket, and the numbers don't lie. It's a budget device, but it is well optimized for opening and running apps. The slowest part is the startup, but once inside the apps, it behaves quite well. The one thing I don't like about Infinix phones is that they come loaded with bloatware you'll probably never use, but it is what it is, and even though it's not a gaming phone, you can still enjoy some casual games. I started by testing Minecraft, and performance at 12 chunks was very good. There were no major frame drops, and 12 chunks is a nice render distance. The second game I tried was Call of Duty, set to medium graphics and high frame rate 60 FPS. It ran perfectly fine with virtually no frame drops. That's thanks to the excellent optimization of Call of Duty. It's a little gem that can run on almost any device. The third game I tested was Stumble Guys. For this one I had to set graphics to the minimum, and that way it ran very well. Unlike Call of Duty, this game isn't very well optimized, but it was still playable without issues. And since this phone is supposed to be a collaboration with Free Fire, I had to try it, and there were no surprises. Free Fire is also a well-optimized game, and especially made to run on potato phones and calculators, so no problems here. While it's not a phone made for gaming, you'll still be able to enjoy some light titles. Talking about the operating system and Infinix's optimization, lately they've been investing a lot in artificial intelligence, and they didn't leave this HOT 60i out. The first AI feature is the assistant called Folax, which, unlike other assistants like Google or Siri, can interact directly with what you're seeing on screen and with almost all of the device's settings. You can ask it to raise the screen brightness, switch to dark mode, take a screenshot, and many other things. You can also talk to Folax about any topic. It's based on DeepSeek, a high-quality Chinese version of ChatGPT, so you can ask it absolutely anything. The best part is that you can ask it to summarize or translate what you're seeing on the screen. But that's not all. If, for example, you're looking at a homework assignment or a math problem, you can ask for help solving it or to explain it to you. I actually find Folax very useful for this kind of thing. You can also upload documents and ask Folax anything about them. Other AI features are focused on creativity. The first one lets you draw and then turn your sketches into actual works of art. You can draw whatever you want for your notes and then convert them into images in another style. It even enhances your sketches. You get unlimited notes here, so you can make as many transformations as you like. The other option is for creating wallpapers. You can write text about what you want and generate images, or use your own photos and turn them into a different style. This option is also available directly in the camera, so you can make your artistic creations a pretty interesting feature. As for the cameras, you get a 50-megapixel rear camera and an 8-megapixel front one. I won't go on too much here. These are cameras for a budget phone. If the lighting is good, the photos look fine, but once the light starts to drop, the colors begin to look a bit dull. And at night, you probably won't get good pictures. Same goes for video. With good lighting, it's quite decent. You can only record at 30 frames per second in full HD. These are just reliable budget cameras. Moving on to the battery, it's 516 mAh, which will easily last you through a work or school day since it's a low-power device and supports 45-watt charging. But, here's a little trick from the brand. In the box, you only get an 18-watt charger, which will charge it from 0 to 100 in about 2.5 hours. When you plug it in, it just says fast charging. If you use a 45-watt charger, the message changes to supercharge, and you actually get different charging options. This part, honestly, I didn't like because the box and the ads say 45 watts, but in the fine print they tell you the included charger may vary. A little sneaky. On the connectivity side, we get Wi-Fi 5 with download speeds of up to 300 gigabytes, but upload speeds capped at 100 gigabytes. NFC for card payments, Bluetooth, GPS. And for mobile networks, we get 4G. For unlocking, we have fingerprint unlock, which works extremely fast and accurately. Just a touch and the phone is ready to go. It also has face unlock, which works very well too. My personal conclusion about this device is that if you're on a tight budget, it's worth considering. Overall, it gets the job done, and one of its strong points is the audio. It sounds really good. The only thing I didn't like was the little joke with the charger. As I always say, in the end, the final word is yours. Let me know in the comments what you think about this device. That's it from me. See you in the next one. Over and out.